I'm Phil Grech, and welcome to the 11th hour. Today we're peeling back the layers on a delightful little nightmare: how governments are using a charming piece of spyware called Pegasus to keep tabs on their citizens. If you think this is just another piece of misinformation found on YouTube, I am challenging you to do your own research and verify all of the below using your favorite AI tool. So with that said, buckle in and here we go. Pegasus, a brainchild of an Israeli cyber intelligence unit operating under the ever-so-innocuous NSO Group, was established in 2010. Once it's cozy on your device, Pegasus can snoop through your text messages, emails, and even those oh-so-secure chats on apps like WhatsApp and Signal. The NSO Group claims it was founded to help governments tackle terrorism and serious crime. How noble. But as time marches on, the line between national security and your right to privacy is getting blurrier than a bad Wi-Fi connection. What started as a shiny tool for safety has morphed into a mass surveillance nightmare, raising eyebrows and ethical dilemmas everywhere. Just picture it: software that can turn your smartphone into a full-fledged listening device, capturing everything from your calls to your location without you even batting an eye. The NSO Group markets this spyware as a hero for law enforcement and national security because nothing screams protecting the public like spying on journalists, activists, and political opponents. So, how does this little gem sneak onto your device? Pegasus can be installed through various methods, including those delightful zero-click exploits that allow it to waltz in without you lifting a finger. Yes, even if you're the most cautious user on the planet, your phone could still be compromised. Here's how it works. An attacker finds a flaw in software or hardware, think messaging apps or operating systems, and exploits it. This flaw is known as a zero-day vulnerability because it's unknown to the software vendor and hasn't been patched yet. The attacker then delivers malicious code directly to your device through methods like sending you a carefully crafted SMS or image that triggers the vulnerability without you clicking anything, exploiting weaknesses in network protocols to gain access without your consent. Pegasus can also hide within seemingly harmless software. It often pretends to be an update or is snuggled in apps you trust. This raises some eyebrow-raising questions about how effective app stores like Apple's App Store and Google Play Store really are at keeping us safe. Sure, they have measures in place, but sophisticated spyware like Pegasus can slip through the cracks faster than you can say privacy invasion. While NSO was indeed founded by members of Israeli intelligence in 2010 with some funding from an Israeli venture fund called Genesis Partners, it has changed hands more times than a hot potato. In 2021, the US decided to place NSO Group on its commerce blacklist, not out of sheer altruism but because they had no choice. In 2020, the world was rocked by a mysterious leak revealing over 50,000 phone numbers believed to be potential targets of NSO Group's clients. Who were these lucky individuals? Why were they under surveillance? The answers were buried deep in a web of intrigue. Enter Forbidden Stories, a Paris-based nonprofit dedicated to picking up where silenced journalists left off, teaming up with Amnesty International's Security Lab, and gathering over 80 journalists from 17 media organizations across 10 countries. Their mission? To unravel this tangled mess and expose the truth behind Pegasus. As they dug deeper, they uncovered a chilling reality. The leaked numbers included journalists, human rights activists, opposition politicians, and even royals. Each name represented someone living under constant threat, a life where privacy is just a distant memory. Forensic analysis revealed traces of Pegasus spyware on at least 37 devices linked to those numbers. This isn't just any surveillance tool. Pegasus can launch zero-click attacks, sneaking into devices without any action from the target. It can access everything: messages, photos, even real-time audio and video, turning personal devices into instruments of oppression. The implications are staggering. Victims of Pegasus surveillance often face dire consequences. Take Jamal Khashoggi, for instance, the Saudi journalist whose murder sent shockwaves through international politics. Investigators found that his family members were targeted before and after his assassination in 2018. His fiancée received ominous messages just days after his death, a haunting reminder of how far some will go to silence dissent. The investigation revealed that authoritarian regimes worldwide, think Mexico, India, Hungary, and Morocco, were using Pegasus to crush opposition and silence critical voices. Journalists who dared expose corruption found themselves squarely in the crosshairs. And let's not forget that this software isn't just for important people. It's also being used by long-game players like China. Imagine being 20 years old and taking a questionable picture of yourself. Fast forward 25 years, that same person could be a government official or CEO, and suddenly that picture becomes blackmail material. This isn't just speculation, it's happening now as our lives become increasingly digital. As the Pegasus Project unfolded, it sparked outrage and calls for accountability that couldn't be ignored any longer. In March 2022, the European Parliament voted to create a committee aimed at investigating abuses related to Pegasus surveillance within EU member states, and legal actions followed swiftly. But let's be real, these sanctions worked in America's best interest too. Before sanctions were imposed, NSO was selling this spyware to anyone with deep enough pockets. If you've got cash, you can get just about anything, even access to this kind of software. With sanctions now in place, NSO faced financial turmoil as they could no longer sell their product freely. In 2022, creditors, including Credit Suisse, took control of the company in a move that feels straight out of a spy thriller. A new holding firm called Dufresne Holdings emerged under co-founder Omri Lavi, a former Israeli intelligence officer who had been steering NSO when Credit Suisse took control, only to hand it back to him later. Sounds like something out of Dr. Evil's playbook. So while sanctions are in place, the Israeli government, along with the Americans, are in full control of this technology, considering there are literally hundreds of thousands of infected devices all over the world, and considering many of these devices are brand new, it's pretty obvious the spyware is being used by the powers above, and if so, the US is essentially breaking its own sanctions by using this software today. Unfortunately, it doesn't stop here. Pegasus isn't alone. Several other spyware tools have popped up with similar capabilities. Dropout Jeep, developed by the NSA for extensive surveillance. Rain, a newly discovered spyware tool infiltrating iPhones. MSPy, a popular tracking app for real-time monitoring. IZ, an advanced hidden spy app for Android and iOS. FlexiSPYA, comprehensive monitoring solution for targeted devices. These tools highlight a growing trend where surveillance technologies are increasingly accessible to governments and malicious actors alike, raising urgent questions about privacy rights in our digital age. As we confront tools like Pegasus and its counterparts, it becomes painfully clear that the fight for privacy is more critical than ever. The misuse of such technologies underscores an urgent need for robust regulations and accountability mechanisms to protect individuals from unwarranted surveillance. In an era where our digital lives are under constant threat, safeguarding our freedoms requires vigilance and perhaps some sarcasm to cope with the absurdity of it all. We hope you learned something from The 11th Hour, where we aim to deliver thought-provoking insights into what's happening around us, even if it's mostly unseen. And do us a favor, smash that like button and click follow.